Hey guys, welcome to the Choices Talk Show podcast. I'm your host Nirvande. So today we're going to be going over the first 3 chapters of the new environmental jam book, Rising Tides. So before I start talking about Rising Tides, I'll just like to tell you about what a great initiative it is by the Choices Pixelberry store. Because in the first place, this kind of books really affect the readers. Because first place, like if you see one like those apocalyptic situation or those apocalypse like zombie apocalypse, zombie attacks, so you feel like, oh, if I were a zombie, I were in a position of a zombie apocalypse, I would have been the hero. I would have gotten to protect people and stuff like that. So now through this environmental jam, green jam book, people would be thinking like, okay, maybe zombie apocalypse is not possible regarding 2020. Anything is possible, but set aside that fact. If we set aside that, probably supervillains are not possible. But we have pressing matters in hand. So like climate change, like global warming. So and we can change the course of those problems by doing some or by making some small changes in our habits or in our daily lives. So I guess, if people didn't know about this before, after playing this book, Choices have a great, fan bases. So after playing this book, they would probably know about it, that's for sure. So now, so that's a great initiative, and I think Choices is the first mobile game app that has done so to, produce this green mobile game jam. So let's talk about the storyline now. So the first chapter, entitled High and Dry, we get to meet our main character, and we know that she has just returned to her hometown Cedarport from the college after graduating the college, and we meet our main character's sister Charlie. And sort of after looking at Charlie and sort of her agendas and her character, we know that she's gonna be the driving force of this story, and our main character is the definitely main character, and she has the responsibility of building Charlie, because Charlie, she is representing all of those young men and women, young person out there who are young, who are brave, and they're trying to be the change. They just don't care about any boundary, because they have less experience, but they have Charlie's heart. She has her heart on the right place, so she wants to do something good in the world, and she wants to start doing it from her hometown. But in the way, she's gonna get a lot of obstacles and stuff like that. So that's one thing. So, we see our main character, she wasn't that much aware about the climate change and stuff like that. But we've seen from the first chapter, from the, very first point, right off the bat, that Charlie is the one who is woke in this case, woke in about this global warming and stuff like that. But, our main character, she became aware about this slowly. And her responsibility that she is the main character who develops, who, sort of builds what kind of character, what he gives the direction to Charlie's this whole ideas, her this protesting, like what way it should be, how much it should be, the limitation. So sort of she builds Charlie's character in terms of these climate activity and stuff like that. So that's a really good thing, and we would see this throughout this course of the book of Choices. And you probably notice that you can make her diplomatic or other stuff, empathetical and stuff like that. So that's of course upon your choice, but definitely like it gives you one hint like how your main character can build their sister Charlie's character. Now, so to start, we see like after returning to the hometown Cedarport, our main character says like a natural disaster has hit the hometown Cedarport, like all the fishes are dead and they're floating on the sea water. So they don't know what happened, but being like really near the beach, the Cedarport is located, so every person, their livelihood is basically fishing. So it definitely affects our main character's family and other families whose main sort of livelihood is fishing. So now sort of Charlie comes up with this idea that this is definitely this has to do with global warming. Now we see later some character like Mayor Liu, who's the mayor of the Cedarport. So there was a town hall meeting, and in that town hall meeting they addressed the issue, and we see like people were talking about this thing and how to get out of this, but they're not talking about the global warming or the climate change that probably could have caused it. So Charlie tries to get the point across the table, but nobody listens to her, and probably she get insulted specifically by the principal Strickler, with whom we see like our main character, probably she has had some bad relationship while she was in school, and now definitely Charlie has that, because we see like Strickler is a sort of like very our typical principal type, like who's really conservative and really hates your progress, like sort of that antagonist character. But I don't think he's gonna be the main antagonist character here. Probably the one that's the like Monteverde, the company. So they have taken the responsibility to get those fishes out of the water and to help the people of Cedarport. So the CEO of the Monteverde company, Warner Rafferty. Now, we don't, in the first 3 chapters, get to see much of his face, but I think he's gonna play some major role probably because, he was also present there, so he could have, being the CEO of a great company, he could have just given, Charlie's thoughts some air, because he probably knew that what's wrong and what's right, but he didn't say anything also. Neither Mayor Liu, neither anybody, but we also in the first chapter we get introduced, to our main character's love interest, that is Robin, who is a reporter, and we see, and he always jumps up to help our main, or he or she, they, so that's a gender customizable character, Robin, love interest, so they jump up to the opportunity at the opportunity of helping our main character to save us from Strickler, and again defending Charlie. Now in the second chapter we see sort of like the Monteverde, they have the company, they have given some stuff to clean the bitch up to all of these people of Cedarport, but we see we have to help people out because their equipment, that was not all, and that was totally not planned. And a character Eddie, who is sort of the best friend of our main character. Now he is working for this Warner Rafferty's Monteverde company. Now he seems to be totally on board with the idea of Monteverde, but he's sort of stuck in the middle because he can't just go against his boss or his job. Also, he neither can quit, or the notion that Charlie, the sister of his friend. So it's a sort of like I think that at the end of the book we'll see Eddie, he coming to sort of one conclusion, like what to do, and he could be the key if we have to go on a war against that company. Then Eddie can be the one, or protesting for stuff like that, and we'll see Eddie character's development in future. I pretty much believe that. And sort of like while the beach cleaning process, we also get to see there is one interview part, if you guys know, we see they're only there to get the sort of the footage of so they're out there to just get the good footage or good image of Warner, and to publish them, and to just get some just for publicity. They're out there basically. So we sort of see that part, and it gets more and more sort of out in the day, it gets clearer that Warner Rafferty is not a good person probably. And then we meet our second love interest, Cassidy, while we're cleaning up the bottles in the beach, because there are lots of bottles in the beach. So we were getting drowned. Then Cassidy, they save our lives. Now, as of in that chapter, nothing important happens. We save Robin from the mill. She was probably throwing them out because of he was digging into some sort of stuff. But mainly I would like to now go to what happened in the book in the chapter 3, Rock the Boat, where Charlie, we see we get a text message from our sister Charlie, and we go to school and we see Charlie's been locked into her classroom with her couple of other friends, so to say Bobby, Alyssa, by the principal Strickler, because again probably they had some argument over they didn't agree. Strickler didn't agree with the students, and knowing Strickler's character, the kind of antagonist, the kind of bad professor and bad vibe he is, so he used his power to illegally lock them up. And we finally, with the help of Robin, we get to free them up. And then also we see this sort of not only this time, as I was saying, about our main character building sort of Charlie, but this time we see Charlie's friends are also present there, Bobby, Elisa, and our main character sort of has the talk, like our main character has the talk with them, like how this is affecting their livelihood and what ways they can get their message across the board. And they listen to our main character, and so does Charlie. And we see this moment between our sister and our main character, and Robin was there beside us. And then we go to protest, as like with the slogans and stuff like that. So it was really amazing to me. And we see like people getting on board, also people like saying like we don't need to do this, because we see like a small town, lots of conservative people, and they probably, because it's a new idea, so they don't know it, and what they don't know they fear, so they're probably fearing that it's not you're just freaking me out, you should go back to school, your education. So we see at point like Mayor Liu comes out and says like we don't want your education being hampered, we just go, it's our responsibility, we'll take care of that, definitely you have the right, your Second Amendment to protest, but you don't know. So that's all we see. And probably we get our principal there to throw dirt at us, but like definitely the place is America, so it's the Second Amendment to protest, so mayor definitely defends us. But also it's like just for publicity, it seems to me, because they also say like go have education, but they don't give any water to our thoughts, so that kind of hurts me. And then we come back to our home, sort of we have this conversation with our mom, dad, and our sister. So mom, dad basically rebukes us for this protest because we initiated and we were the part of that protest. But so because I think that like as a parent, they would be like really worried about their kids, and like they don't want to do them or take them any step that could really affect them, their education. And knowing Principal Strickler, they also know, so they don't want their kids to throw themselves into a danger, into the mouth of a danger. They don't want to do that with their kids. So now I see like sort of how the main character's parents, they are saying that main character and sister Charlie, they should stay away from Robin, because Robin can just is a reporter, he's out there, they are out there here for just the news, and they will just go away, Robin. So the main character's parents, they just try to push this theory, and then at the end we see they're getting a call or message from the Principal Strickler, and they say like main character's mom, and they say like, well, speak of the devil, and the devil is here. So probably there's some news, and specifically I think it's for Charlie, probably some detention, or probably something more terrible, that Strickler is trying to punish Charlie that way for not listening to him, like the narcissist Principal Strickler is. Being a narcissist, Principal Strickler would try something like that. So I hope that now we'll see about that in the next chapters. So that's all. Now this is really building really well. Now I'm really behind, but I would catch up to the story, and next week I'm going to go over chapter 4 to chapter 8, if not chapter 9, and I'll release a video, and I hope to see you all there. And just, it's been great. So have a nice week, and enjoy reading choices. See you. Bye.